right, a pleasant good evening to you. Dave Dickens from EastCountySports.com. We're here with week 7 of play, and we're into league play tonight. We're getting all the finals in here. I think we've got them all wrapped up, Dave. Maybe the games weren't too close tonight, but we had some big plays and some big action tonight from league play as we got underway tonight. We're going to get the previews here started in just a minute, Dave. But what'd you think tonight, brother?
A lot of blowouts across the county. And just in, Joey Hamilton's going to join us from the West Hills Wolfpack off of the big win over the Elkhorn Valley Braves. He says it's going to have to be pretty quick, so he's going to be on very quick. It's his dad's birthday today. It's his dad's birthday today.
Hello. Thank you.
How you doing, Joey? It looks like you're back in where you need to be, behind center and slinging the ball and running with the ball. Yeah. And a win.
Glad to be back.
A win in league is it doesn't matter who it is. You got to get those wins. So
definitely.
Now tell us about there was like 2 touchdowns that were called back.
There was, we had some penalties going on, but at the end of the day, we had the more points, so that's it. It got rough. We definitely played bad ball, but
those were 2 awesome plays. I told Dave, I said the 2 best plays of the game didn't even count, Joe. You took off running, you bounced off that guy, ran it into the left pylon, no touchdown. Next play, you threw a beautiful pass to one of your teammates. It was a little out of far, and since it wasn't a touchdown, I didn't even write it down. You might shout him out, but what was the final score? Was it 28-6 or was it 22-6?
It was 28-6. Yeah.
It was 28-6?
Yes.
Which is why you had to settle for a field goal on the last one of the game.
Yeah, we settled on the field goal. Yeah.
Who had the first touchdown of the game for you guys, Joey?
I threw it to Braden Reed. In the it was like on the left. How
many yards or so?
I think it was about 15-ish, 15-10.
Did you have some rust? You had to tell us about your injury and your process to get back to being behind center. We saw you. I saw you go out. Maybe one of the captain's ceremonies when I first pointed out to Dave. I said, Joe, Joe's got an injury. What went on?
Yeah, we were playing UC and we just came out of the half and I pulled my groin and instantly I kind of knew that something was wrong. I came out. They told me like maybe 4 weeks, and I was like, oh my gosh. But thankfully, we got back a little quicker than we hoped. And we had an amazing staff with the trainer. She helped me all the way along the way, give me exercises, all these different recovery process. Coach Ash was great. He helped me along the process, get better, and rested me how much I needed. And thankfully, I got to come back out here today.
And I'm sure you were shouting out and supporting your defense in your absence too. I mean, your defense has been fantastic.
They've been lights out. They've been absolutely stunning. Having shutouts against Vista, it was holding Patrick Henry to 14 in the first quarter, and it was pretty impressive. I was thankful to have them back us up there.
Especially when you can hold Patrick Henry, because we all know they're like a scoring machine. I mean, we saw what they did to GROSSMONT the first time, and then they just keep doing it. They're going to be a tough team to beat down the road. But like you said, for your defense to hold them to 14, I mean, that's really saying something. But I'm sure you really want that touchdown back, especially the one Ramon was talking about. I mean, it was a beauty. And, just this way, it just looked like one of those finesse type touchdowns. And I noticed El Cajon, I mean, they haven't been in the end zone, let's just be honest, very, very often. And so to get past your defense even to get 6 points, I mean, it's a league game, though. That's what happens when we play league games. Yeah. I mean, the records are thrown out the door. And, would you say that they were they played pretty hard.
They did play hard. They
Oh,
they were fast. They were physical, and especially in the second half coming out, they were harder than the first half.
Yeah, I thought they did a nice job. In fact, I thought the defense, Joey, actually did a nice job when they did get their little drive. When they got their drives going a little bit. Our defense, the Pack defense, did a nice job there. Hey, the play that set you up for your little keeper there off the right side, the punt return. Who was that? Garcia?
Junior Leon. He had the kick return touchdown earlier in the game, and then he had that punt return to the 1 yard line. Yeah, he was phenomenal tonight.
Yeah. Oh, he got it down to the 1 yard line, and then that's the next play. You took it kind of off tackle there for the keeper. That point. Okay, good, got it. And Slowskowski, a couple of field goals too, Dave. The West Hills has this tradition of good field goal kicking. They even got another one. One was pushed back 5 yards with a penalty there too, but I won't harp on that too much, Joey. So, hey man, just in time for league play. I don't know if you caught this, but Santana lost tonight to Valhalla. So you're tied right now with Valhalla, El Cap, and of course you guys in first place. So one thing Dave and I talked about this week is you got to be careful of teams like the Norsemen or the Monarchs or the Braves too. You guys didn't exactly have the quickest start tonight. Yeah, we definitely can't take any team for granted. We got to go out there and play our best football and keep getting better. We can't take anything off.
And what better time for you to come back to start league? And I'm sure that's exactly what Coach Ash wanted to do. Is we need to be healthy, Joey, and for every game from here on out. And it looked like your line was. I mean, any shout outs to any of your linemen? Letting you run.
Ethan Borrego, great job at center this week. We had Zach Waters filling in some holes. He's a sophomore. He played great both ways. Andrew Mellon stepped up and made some big plays. Preston Cortez, obviously, always in there getting his face dirty and stuff. So it was line played great tonight.
And you always got you've got a couple of home games. I think that's huge, especially when it comes to league play. And I wonder how Coach Ash pulled that off. But hey, more power to him. And do you not have the West Hills Wolfpack faithful? They fill those stands pretty quick.
Yeah, it was.
I've been to many of them.
You stuck around for homecoming.
Homecoming night. It was a big crowd. It was fun environment to be a part of.
Were there any football players on the court?
There was. Ethan was on the homecoming court, and so was Junior Leon. And Junior Leon got the king. So it's an awesome night for Junior Leon.
You know what, Joe? I was going to go with the lead to the story is Joey coming back for a return, but Joey, I'm sorry. I think you got bumped for the homecoming king having a nice game tonight. Edgar got it?
Yes, he got it.
That's cool. You stuck around, of course, to watch it with the fireworks.
Yeah, it was awesome. Whole team swarmed him and celebrated with him under the fireworks. It was a fun night.
Dave, I know you wish that every team had the homecoming ceremonies after the game like West Hills does smartly to avoid those long half times a little bit, especially when you're down. So, hey, Joey, every time Dave said, well, Joey's going to come back to this team after he gets healthy and looks strong. And maybe in those first games, I was like, hey, Dave, DeAngelis is looking pretty good. How much did you work with Brady? Yeah, how much you work with him and get you guys through this little spell? When you got number 23 behind center, we needed you back. But he did a good job.
We worked with him. He filled in the gap. He got his plays down. He helped get our team the ball. He led us to some wins, and that's all we needed from him. That was great. And now he gets to play some receiver and succeed there.
Awesome. Dave, go ahead, Dave. We'll get
I got to be honest. I mean, of course, it's like Tom Brady going down, yourself going down, and having to put a second stringer in there. And I would say that he's one of the top ones. Let's just go back a little bit. Fitzmagic, if you will, backing you up. So you were in good hands.
I was.
And before we go, I know you have company. Dad's birthday.
Yes.
Well, you tell your dad, you know what? You tell your dad, hey, this is part of the experience of doing a little post-game show with us on your dad's birthday. You were coming back from injury and you had a great
Yeah,
game tonight.
he loves it. He loves it.
You had a great game tonight, Joe. That's great news for the Wolfpack coming in because, well, Dave got me on the spot. I said, you know what? The Pack's got to play that game. Both El Cap and West Hills have to play at Santana. That's still going to be tough. But you know the task ahead, and the Wolfpack's in good hands, Dave, with Joe back at quarterback.
And with that stellar defense.
Yes, defense.
No doubt. Okay. Thanks, Joey. Appreciate it. Great job tonight from the Wolfpack. I hope I got those touchdowns down right. You said the first pass, the touchdown pass was to Reed.
Yes.
Right? Was that the one that was over in the left back corner?
It was in the corner. It was a little comeback route. Yeah.
Right, and that was after the safety that made it 9-0, right? And then we had a field goal before the end of the first half.
I believe so. Yeah,
okay.
In that something in that order. Yeah.
And it was 12-0, Dave. And then I think Joey had the keeper that was 19-0. And then after the Braves scored, that's when we ran it back. No, that right?
Something like that. Yeah, I don't remember for sure.
I'll get it from Coach in the morning, brother. Great job.
Okay. Awesome.
Tell Dad happy birthday, and I'm sure he's already got a smiling from ear to ear about your win.
Proud. All right.
Thank you.
Avatar down there, awesome. Thanks, Joey. Great job, Dave. Great job, Joey, and the Wolfpack, Dave. So I'll try to clean it up. You know what? I'll get the info from Coach Ash. Somewhere in there, I missed that kickoff return. That's what it was, Dave. I told you. I said, I've missed a kickoff somewhere in here, but maybe it was the second half kickoff. I'm not sure, but at least we got it straight from Joey. The pass to Reed there for the touchdown that made it 9-0. Then Christian Slowskowski, he hit a 38-yard field goal that made it 12-0. Dave, and then the 40-yard punt return, as mentioned there by Joey as well, to keep West Hills going. So I'll have to clean that up a little bit, but no doubt 28-6 here, Dave, for the Wolfpack tonight to open up league play over the Braves. And like I said, all of us, we said, Dave, the teams have to avoid that upset. And Valhalla, you said they could thrust themselves right into the race, and they did tonight. So, but this one for West Hills tonight, great job.
Well, and I mean, good for the Braves, and what a great player, brought up the right way too at sportsmanship. To be able to describe the Braves as fighting hard in when they came back in the second half, especially being a league foe. That's something that shows that he really is a true football player with some definitely some good sportsmanship.
And you saw not only the shout out there for Ethan, who was also on the court, but also Edgar, one homecoming king. And of course, we saw Preston in the chat with his avatar. So the senior got his moment there with us. Maybe we'll get Preston on later when we get another big victory. Like I said, this race is going to be crazy, Dave. So let me move on with the race here. Let me continue with the Valley League right now and get your response to some of these games. That's about all I got on that West Hills game actually coming in. We did mention the Braves touchdown. I did see it, but I didn't quite get the number there, but they did get a touchdown. So that's big news, certainly for the Braves getting a touchdown here in league play. All right, let's move on now, probably to the biggest story of the night, Dave. It's the Valhalla Norsemen defeating the Santana Sultans. We said, look out, Dave, with the Sultans here. And, man, it was a great performance by Valhalla. It started early and often, a fumble recovery and a return of 38 yards. Put the Sultans in the lead as Jordan Galisi sacked the quarterback, and the ball bounced up for freshman Tatum Morehouse, and Santana actually led the game early, 7-0. I hope I got the numbers right on the Norsemen. Nonetheless, they were up 7-0. Valhalla had an early answer, however, as a 37-yard keeper by Jackson Newman resulted in a sprint down the sideline, and that tied the game at 7. The Sultans scored on the ensuing drive, capped by a 39-yard score down the right side by Caden Hallman, Dave, and that made it 14-7 in favor of the Sultans. So they were looking good, but Newman had a 40-yard completion down to the 2-yard line where Joshua Armstrong crashed in to equalize the game at 14-all. Then Newman had a 40-yard run down to the 6-yard line. Then he ran in an option keeper, and the Norsemen led 21-14 at halftime. Valhalla's reliable left-footed kicker Anderson Turner booted a 28-yard field goal in the third quarter for a 24-14 lead. And then, if anything, Dave, the one area maybe with the Sultans, when they're trailing, they have the young quarterbacks. It was Valhalla Jr. Lorenzo Matos. He had the play of the night with a 21-yard pick six, interception return, and a 31-14 lead. The Sultans got a nice pass down into the red zone on their next possession, but Valhalla pushed them back and turned them away on a fourth down pass attempt. By that time, they were going to need multiple scores as Valhalla gets one of its biggest victories here in a long time in league play here over Santana, and they're tied for first place tonight.
Well, you know, I remember you were talking about, and it can still happen, but you were pretty big on Santana, and Santana being at the top when it's all said and done.
This changes things for, you know,
but,
I think it's all up in the air now. I don't know what's going on.
And with you saying that, I do recall, maybe not in the exact context, but saying that a team like Valhalla and the way that they've been playing this year, they could easily have an upset. And I think that they're a better Valhalla team and than probably the last several years, to be honest. And especially that they got a really great quarterback that can sling it down the field. You said he's thrown a couple of touchdowns, and I mean they have 3 running backs, maybe even 4 that are that you told me about when we did our show for the picks for these games.
Yeah, they're doing a great job, no doubt about it, and they're in first place tonight with the victory over the Sultans. And now the Sultans are going to have to make sure they win those other games, and still probably now they're going to need a win. I would guess somewhere along the line on the road game at Monte Vista. I would think now, because all of a sudden they can hold serve, and we'll see. But they're a game behind now. Those 3 teams that I mentioned, including Dave, the El Capitan Vaqueros. They won tonight on the road at Monte Vista here, Dave. Wasn't easy for sure, but the Vaqueros took the 14-7 lead in the second quarter with just under 4 minutes to play when Brant Barker threw a touchdown pass from 5 yards to Braden Linder. But Alex Villanueva had a 1-yard touchdown run in the final minute of the first half to tie the game at 14-all. Villanueva also scored the Monarchs' first touchdown of the game. El Capitan took a 21-14 lead on a touchdown from Brady Girolamo from 13 yards out just 3 minutes into the third quarter, and El Capitan extended the lead to 28-14 when Brady Kopp scored on a 5-yard run in the final minute of the third quarter. Girolamo added a 5-yard rushing touchdown for a 34-14 advantage. And then Villanueva, he had a 99-yard kickoff return for a touchdown in this game, Dave. But still, El Capitan wins it 38-21 to open league play at 1-0.
And I did pick them for an upset for Monte Vista, but I I think they came a lot closer and played the game a lot tighter than I'm sure the computers and yourself and a lot of others picked ahead of time. But there's just something about Monte Vista, and I almost think they need one more. They're missing it, just one ingredient to really take over that league for sure. I mean, we've been saying it for years. For coach, maybe open up the passing game, but I don't know if. I mean, Derek does well. I don't know if he's ready for those long passes that they, he explained to us a couple of weeks ago that they do that a lot in practice. They do more of the routes, but Villanueva is just. I tell you what, he definitely he's not as big as McClendon was, but I think he's just as fast, to be honest, and the way that he runs, the strength that he runs downhill, and the way he's able to carry people with him is fantastic. So I will say that I missed out on this one. I did say Monte Vista was going to defeat El Capitan, but at the beginning of the year, we both picked out El Cap to win the league at any rate. But it's still, hey, it's one game, and that can't affect them. It just means the others need to win more games. But El Capitan right now and Valhalla are at the top, and they're looking down.
Yep, it's going to be I can't wait till next week's games now, all of a sudden in the Valley League. Okay, let's move along here, Dave, to the Hills League, where it was Granite Hills, number 3 in the county, rolling to the victory here, 39-0 over Steele Canyon, Dave. Well, you had your eyes trained on this one, but it was one-sided for sure, but still opening victory here in the Hills League for the Eagles over their rival.
Well, we did think that because of history has shown us that these two clashed together. It didn't matter what the records were. It's been a 2-point conversion. It's been an extra point. Who's going to gamble on that 2-point conversion or on that fourth down? But I think what it's coming down to now is the players are great, but I think it's coming down to coaching as well. I think that's a huge part of the recipe, and I think each year Kellen and crew just continue to get better, and I think they come up with even better schemes, and they have the guys to run the schemes. I mean, right away, Eagles came out of the gate. Turner had a 39-yard touchdown. Extra point good. 7-0 right away. And Caja didn't look too bad to start, but they were short passes. But a lot of them were runs. He ran for 7, and he'd throw a short pass to number 18. And then what it was is the pass rush was so fierce, and we've seen it all year. They were getting in on him before he could even get rid of the ball. I mean, he has like about 2 or 3 seconds to get rid of that ball when that defense is coming through. Not to say anything against the Cougar offensive line, but we've seen the size and how fast those edge rushers are in particular. And it was then it was 14-0. And then that was going, and that was only before the second quarter. And Caja got 19 yards. He did actually a couple of runs. Then he got back-to-back sacks. They went for a field goal that was it actually hit the post, so they missed a field goal in the second quarter. I mean, Weaver was running, but I mean, it was 4 yards, 5 yards. Then for penalties, they're back 2nd and 14. They pick up 7. Weaver picks up another 2 yards, and then 10, and then 3. And then we had Benitez throwing to Turner. That's nothing new. It was just a 2-yard touchdown, but the Eagles were fortunate to get down the field very quickly. Unfortunately, again, the extra point, no good. We're at 20-0 going into the second. And, we came out. And again, I don't know what was going on, but Caja sacked again. And De Leon was in there again on quite a few tackles. Number 13, I can't think of him right at the moment, but he was also meeting him. And then we had Benitez. He missed a couple of receivers. I think probably the only big mistake he had was he got picked in the end zone mid-second quarter. They're not going to be perfect all the time. And then one of the bigger moments for the Eagles, number 3 for the Cougars, fumbled the ball, and Granite Hills recovered it, and Benitez, I believe it was 70 yards, and then Benitez to Lewis for an 8-yard touchdown, and then, get this, a blocked extra point. I don't know what was going on in the kicking game. Granite Hills is usually pretty good there, and they ended up having another one blocked too. And then a lot of running by Weaver. I could probably say that I have here about 20 times, 25 times. And then we had Turner on a big touchdown as well. And he scored 2 touchdowns tonight. And let's not forget about Caja throwing a pick 6 to number 36 from Granite, and ran it back, 25-yard touchdown to put the Eagles up 32-0. And to finish them off, they scored one more, and I believe that was Turner, 39-0. And the Cougars, they just decided to take a knee with a couple of seconds left on the clock, but it was just all Eagles. They couldn't get anywhere on the ground, and then Caja was trying to get a running game himself. He couldn't get around the corners. I mean, this secondary is that good. He tried to cross the left. He tried to sweep to the right, and they got him. I really think it's going to be tough for anybody to defeat the Eagles, to be honest, if they keep playing like this. And then again, a fumble, 2 turnovers, a fumble and a pick 6.
Yeah, the pick 6, that was by senior Luis Huertas, who had that INT return that you mentioned, Dave, from 25 yards. So just think about it already, Dave, that he's already the 5th different Eagle to intercept a pass so far this season, with Smith and Vance already combining for 7 interceptions between them this season. And that's 10 interceptions already for what you like to call the ball hawking Eagles.
And on top of that, another one of them that has climbed the top of the mountain is Turner scored his 15th touchdown from Benitez. So I'll tell you what. I still think they should put Spalding in a little more often, but when you got Turner at full speed and you have those receivers, I guess you're going to go with them every time. But Coach, if you do hear me, I think Spalding is an up and coming running back, and he did do well last week, but we can't take anything away from Max. I mean, Max is the man.
Just some friendly advice from Granite Hills alum Dave Dickens. All right. Eagles, also Lathan Fry had that first touchdown you mentioned, the completion there anyway, the 7-yard touchdown with 2:33 left in the first quarter after the long 75-yard pass that you mentioned. That was actually to senior Trenton Ingram, and it's his birthday today.
Yes, right. And also I want to say, was it 39 years? The Granite Hills cheer coach is retiring, but 39 years as a Granite Hills cheer coach. So
oh gosh, okay.
a lot of records tonight.
Oh boy, I know who that. Oh boy. I do know also the homecoming king was Lincoln Glaze, but I couldn't quite make out the queen's name. I'm sorry about that. All right, we'll keep it going right now here with our next game from the Hills League tonight, Dave. The Mount McGill Matadors led 56-20 at halftime, and it was quickly over here in this one as the Matadors won at home 63-26. Ended up the final in this one. Dave, actually, Mount McGill scored on his first possession on a 38-yard keeper by quarterback A.J. Stowers, but GROSSMONT quickly went down into the red zone, and on a completion from Tommy Donovan to Noah Walker, they were able to get a run in on the next play as Smith took it in off the right side for a 3-yard run. That was after the 33-yarder to Noah Walker, but Brandon Arrington returned. Why? I don't know. I'm sure that they say don't kick it. I don't know. It's different in high school. You don't want to kick them, but they kicked it to Brandon Arrington. He is the state champion in the 100 meters, and you've seen him run, Dave. He just tears everybody up. He ran a 78-yard touchdown return. It was a short kick, actually, and there was only 3 minutes gone and change in the first quarter. It was already 14-6. Then Arrington had a 22-yard reception for a touchdown on a short pass that he kind of skipped by the defenders on his way to the end zone for another score for the speedster. Noah Walker had a 10-yard reception from Donovan to pull the Hillers to within 21-12. It was still in the first quarter, Dave, but Stowers threw a 12-yard touchdown pass to Paris Vernon to give Mount McGill a 28-12 lead, and Stowers connected with Vernon for a long pass down the left side for 40 yards to set up a Matador score on the next play. The Matadors also scored on a 14-yard touchdown reception by A.J. Logan in the back of the end zone. Arrington also had an interception in the first half. Later, Vernon took a direct snap for a touchdown run in the second quarter as Mount McGill led 42-12, and GROSSMONT closed the Mount McGill lead to 42-18 on a 32-yard pass from Donovan to Amari Riley on a beautiful deep connection by the Foothillers, but Mount McGill scored on a 32-yard touchdown pass from Stowers to Ezell Buchanan to make it 49-18. Later, GROSSMONT did get a TD in the second half to close to 56-26 before the Matadors scored on a Stowers, I believe it was to Buchanan, but you and I were trying to get the show together. I might have missed that last one, but nonetheless, it was 63-26. Mount McGill put up a pretty big number here. Those striking computers actually said the score would be 63-20, so they weren't too far off.
You know, and I wanted to mention there was also a double pass that was when they did end up getting to 56. But I really thought when the Hillers returned the favor, I thought, okay, we didn't make the 2-point conversion. Okay, that's fine. But you know what? We're keeping up, and I'd say halfway through the first quarter, I said this could be a long night. The other thing, and I think that's why the game took a little longer than others. It did start a lot later than most of the action in the East County. Not to mention a lot of laundry. I mean, there was a ton of penalties.
Homecoming too, and they did it at halftime.
Yeah, and they, just like Granite Hills, did it at halftime as well. But there were lots of hankies. A lot of, as a matter of fact, the beneficiaries were typically the Hillers on a lot of 15-yard personal. So, they got a few gifts, but at the same time, I want to say, Tommy Donovan, you went out there, you battled, but oh my goodness, that defense of Mount Miguel was pounding the poor kid this evening. I mean, he really didn't have time. I think he ran out of the pocket 90% of the time, and just to get a completion, I actually think this was his probably his worst as far as completion percentage, and that was because he was under duress by that Mount Miguel defense that was just eating him up.
Yes,
but he hit Noah Walker a couple of times, his favorite, I would like to say. And I'm sure that coach will regroup, but boy, that's got to be a hard pill to swallow, going in there like that and thinking that they can keep up with the Matadors.
Yeah, they do some unorthodox things, certainly at Grossmont. They were going for onside kicks early in the game. We've seen that before. They also went for it on a 4th down in the first quarter from their own, felt like about the 41 or 43. I guess the thing is, it doesn't matter how long the field is for Mount Miguel, 40 yards or 80 yards. I guess you feel like we got to get these. Maybe the thing is keep the ball away from from Mount Miguel is the best way to go. I think
that's what I said when we were making our picks. Is if we can just and they somewhat tried to do that, but I think we shouldn't have abandoned the run, because I'm looking also, it was number 22 for Grossmont went in towards the end of the game, and a gain of 8, a gain of 15, a gain of 10, and it was late. It could have been the defense was also a little worn out. However, I think we abandoned the run a little too early, and I think that if we would have wore that ferocious defense down and kept the ball and had more of the time on our side, I think that they probably still wouldn't have won, but they could have kept it a lot closer. But this is league play. You are in the Hills League, and these are the type of teams that you're going to play. So it doesn't get any easier for the Foothillers, I will tell you that.
All right, let's wrap it up here, Dave, with the Hills League tonight. Don't have much tonight. This one was out of town here, but Edison beat Helix 42-14. They led this one early, Dave, but in the preview, we mentioned the Edison running back, Julius Gillick, the transfer from Seattle. Edison had 6 touchdowns. Julius Gillick had 6 touchdowns, so they couldn't stop Julius Gillick. Helix did get a couple of scores. We'll have to clean it up here. Don't have much other than that. Helix loses tonight in a non-conference game. We got 5 teams in the league. Someone's got to be on. They're not on bye. You're playing somebody. Helix had to travel to play Edison here. It wasn't at Edison. Doesn't have a home field. They don't have a stadium even. The game was at Westminster High. They don't have a stadium. They play at Westminster High right now. Does Edison?
So what happened? What happens with Helix? I haven't seen a Helix team with 4 losses in forever.
Well, fortunately for Helix, they'll be back in GROSSMONT Hills League play, and they could still win all 4 games and still be the league champions, but they're going to have to improve drastically here this season right now. I certainly have them behind the Eagles at this point, and I have them behind the Matadors right now, and they host the Matadors later this season. And I would think what's going to be the battle for second place at this point. I don't think the teams are going to beat the Eagles here right now. We're not going to crown the Eagles. They have to earn it, but they're looking great, no doubt about it. So
could we lose? Is there a possibility the Musket could leave?
Oh, no. And no. Just don't think there's enough there right now for Helix to lose the rivalry game this year.
And how about those Christian Patriots this evening?
No doubt about it, Dave. You were following it all night, and the Patriots came out big time and dusted Crawford. I tried to give Crawford a chance here because they're a pretty swell team, certainly, and they'll have some seasoning to get going, but they'll probably have some postseason success because they'll probably end up a division or 2 lower than teams like the Patriots when it's all said and done. But another big road win, Dave, for the Patriots. The fortunes have changed dramatically with Caleb Runkle.
Runkle is the man. I mean, do we think just him, or do we think the whole offense that rallies around Runkle as well? I think that's a big part of it too, and I think the trust that he developed after the last week's game. That they're firing on all cylinders. That offense is something to be scared of if you're going up against them.
Yeah, Dave, the Patriots led 20-0 in the first quarter. Runkle had a 16-yard keeper for a touchdown as part of that early scoring barrage that made it 6-0. And then they scored on a 25-yard connection from Runkle to Kai Rozier for the second score. And then the third touchdown, Dave, came on a rushing touchdown by, I hope I get this one right, Dave, Junior Jacob Kirchhofer. I want to say Kirchhofer. Could be Kirchhofer. But Jacob scored the touchdown to make it 20-0 there in the first quarter, Dave.
And they did, I guess there was one PAT that was blocked.
Okay. That's why it was 20. Okay.
And then Crawford scored with a pass after a penalty against the Patriots. Unfortunately, it's something that you don't like to see. I don't think it's never done intentionally. I don't think, but it happens at the high school level, obviously, too. The targeting ejection that puts the Colts into the red zone, and then they get their 7 points basically by setting them up nicely. But then here we come again, Runkle rumbling down and throwing lasers. 10-yard pass to Eads, one of his favorites, it seems, in just 2 games. And then another good PAT. Now we're up 27-7 with 43 till halftime. Marsh, it seems like, has been involved in just about every game. Whoever's behind, if it's Spencer, if it was Wilkins, or if it's Runkle, it seems to me that Marsh always benefiting of scoring at least 6 points per game. And Marsh today with rushing 5-yard touchdown. And then we had put him up 37-7 with the extra point good. 53 seconds left of the half. Then we're at 34-7. And we don't expect any different from this either. Moronis with the rushing touchdown. And then the Patriots went for 2. Pass from Runkle to Marsh. There's Marsh again. And score 42-7 with 8 minutes left in the game. That was pretty much it. And then I guess there was, which really didn't matter at that point. We had seconds to play, and Runkle threw a interception. But I mean, after a trouncing of the Crawford Colts, what I did from my source did say that Coach Bug said we're going to take the foot off of the gas, and we're not going to just blow these guys out any further. It's just not the right thing to do. Like he said, and you talked about the Crawford coaching and the team, and I understand he feels the same way. So he didn't want to do that either. But Christian's on a run. They're on a run, and since Runkle got in there, they're going to be a tough team to beat.
One computer, Dave, said it would be 42-0. The other computer said it would be 40-7. So 42-7 makes sense there. They kind of got it right. I think the computers actually ended up going back on strike. I didn't catch what's happening right now, but the computers are on strike. The dock workers are off strike, but the computers are on strike.
And they were just on strike when 2 days ago. Okay.
All right, Dave. Great. Go ahead. Anything else on the Patriots? Great job, Patriots. Wow.
No, I think in league play, they could very well defeat everybody in the league.
So far, so good. It is a tough league, no doubt about it, with those other teams. We mentioned it's probably going to come down to the Patriots and the Patriots, right?
I do believe so, and that and the tallest order for the Patriots on that one is going to be their defense trying to stop the other Patriots, and it could be a shootout.
That's next week's game, and it's at Valley Stadium.
I think it could very well be an 80-point game.
I don't like it as I want it to be lower scoring for a Patriot win, actually, though. I think the higher scoring it is, Dave, that is going to be a tougher game for the Christian Patriots to win. That's just my feeling on it. But
I just hope the defense
home. I think this is a new feel with the sophomore quarterback. As good as they did, as good as sharp as they looked. Yeah, there's a couple losses in there, but I thought they were fine. But this feels different all of a sudden. Crawford's probably the easiest of the teams, certainly. But
they had a great win. We saw him last week too, and he's a mobile quarterback too. He can throw from the pocket, or he can throw on the run, and from what I understand from Coach too, he was throwing lasers, and they were as accurate as can be. So he's seeing the defense well too. And for a young sophomore like that to be playing at that level, boy, I'll tell you what, Christian got some gold from Granite Hills as he was a transfer from Granite Hills to Christian. But Granite Hills doesn't exactly have anybody that's too shabby in Benitez, obviously.
Yeah, you want to go where you can play. That's why, I don't know. You don't want to not let players have an opportunity to compete and advance their, hey, you could end up going to a great college, changing your life, and that's what it's all about. Okay, one more I have to report on, Dave. I don't have anything else other than the score, so I'll just show it to you. Here was Rock Academy did beat Mountain Empire 24-6. Pretty easy win here. Foothills Christian, no report. That's the show, Dave. Great job. Great job tonight, and great job by our by the winning teams here. I think I don't know. We definitely learned that Valhalla. I think I'm going to put them into the contender category right now with those other teams for sure.
I completely agree, and that's the one team we agreed could be a scary one. And I still say that Monte Vista could be a scary one in the Valley as well. We would.
You picked, you picked them this week, I think.
Yes, and
and Alex, look, LCAP. One thing I'll say about that game, Dave, we didn't have a lot on that, but LCAP did a better job on Alex Villanueva than we saw some of the other teams so far. But he still got, he still apparently had a kickoff return that went the entire distance. I haven't seen it yet, but that's what they reported to me. So great job by Villanueva. 2 other touchdowns too. But
if anybody is going to be on the top of the list of one of the all-league players this season, I definitely think that he's going to be first team. I don't see any reason that the rate he's going right now, I don't see any reason why.
That's funny. You think about that, Dave. You think about the teams in the Valley League right now. Now, Joey did have a great game tonight. We want to see him against the other, in the big games and everything. And Barker did look good here tonight. You have to think on the surface, he would be the favorite. They actually won that game, but Alex just might have enough stats when it's all said and done that he could still be the player of the year, I would think, in the Valley League. Interestingly enough, I don't make the call. That's, the coaches get together and they decide, but I don't think that would be out of the question. I don't want, I'm not saying anything that those coaches don't already know. Alex Villanueva is probably going to have the best statistics of all the players in the Valley League. Comparing if you want to compare a running back to a quarterback, still might have more yards than anybody when it's all said and done from running back because of their heavy workload, certainly. And, he's already well over 1,000 yards now. So Max Turner will next game. I don't think he got it this game, even though he had a huge game, but he will become the Granite Hills all-time leading rusher if he didn't already pass it tonight. I do think he'll get it in the next game. I think he needed over 300 yards, so I'm not sure he got that. You watched the game, but they had some balance tonight.
Oh yeah, no, they definitely had
3 bills. He didn't have 3 bills tonight?
No,
did he? No. So maybe next game. And these are tougher games too now. So okay.
I don't think they needed. I think they knew that they didn't need to utilize him as often once they saw that they had control of the game. Which we got a lot of games left to play in league, and there's some tougher foes too that they're going to have to face, and especially. Let's just face it. From where I'm standing, they will be in the postseason, and there's going to be some tough squads out there, especially in the open, that are they need to be ready to go.
Hey, but no doubt, right now, I mean, they're open to bit. Just keep focus, keep the path that they're on, and win the league championship like they're supposed to, like they're expected to, and they will be. In the open division playoffs when we get there, as one of the 4 teams. That's, that's for sure.
They seem to be.
Got to win.
They're averaging what in the last 2-3 games, about 42 points a game. That's not bad. And then on the other end, the defense is not allowing much either. So talk about a balanced team, and then the special teams is even pretty fantastic as well. So I think that's about it. I thought they were going to be some closer games today. I didn't expect so many blowouts. They're going to happen every once in a while, but I don't see this happening every week. I don't even think next week. I think we'll have some closer nail biters, and the ones that those are, you like watching those. You don't like. I mean, look at the professional one. I mean, the Bucks and the Falcons. Now, what? That was a heck of a game. Holy cow!
Well, next week, Dave, I've got some great matchups for you next week that you're going to have a trouble picking the winners of. So you just get on it right now and start thinking next week in the fearsome forecaster's memory. Steel Canyon at Grossmont, West Hills at Monte Vista next week, Dave. That's going to be interesting too. Of course, the Patrick Henry game in Christian, and then the one, of course, that I've been waiting for, Mount Miguel at Helix. The Eagles are going to have their non-league game next week. They're going to be hosting Cathedral Catholic. Now, here's the thing. I think they're in a bit of a toss-up situation. So you'll want to think about that game closely. Like I said, Cathedral's back, but it is, I believe it is at Valley Stadium. Or at Granite Hills Stadium in that game. So, I still think if by some chance they did not win, I think they can still be in the open division, because right now Cathedral is also a top 4 team here right now. So those are great. And don't forget also El Capitan at Valhalla. So great games next week.
And that, let's think about that. That could go either way also after what we saw from Valhalla tonight.
Absolutely.
I'm sure Coach Estes, I'm sure he was shocked after a game like that. But knowing how he's been coaching so long, and the way he appreciates football teams and the opposites that win, I'm sure that Valhalla team is they're going to be good for some time. They have something to build on, and obviously they're going to continue to be a better team. So, other than that, we'd like to thank our sponsors. Lakeside Equipment and Granite Mortgage, and everyone that stuck around for a nice homecoming night, I guess. Other than that, a lot of blowouts, and with the exception of the Valhalla and Santana Sultans, and even West Hills and El Cajon could have been much worse.
I think Valhalla is the story tonight.
All right, until next week. And we want to also, let's not forget, and we thank Joey Hamilton of West Hills for coming on the show. It's his dad's birthday. He told me he's got the whole family waiting for him, though. But he wouldn't mind coming on real quick. And I think we gave him 10, 12 minutes. And always, Coach Ash said Joey's always good for a good interview. So I agree wholeheartedly.
Like I said, that's part of the whole, it's your dad's birthday. You got healthy. You're back playing. You won the game at home on homecoming. Your teammate that caught that had the big play was the homecoming king. You're getting interviewed on YouTube by a couple of old Grossmont Conference fans like you and me. And that's a lot. That's part of it. So happy birthday to Dad.
Yep. I'm just seeing him back on the field with his magic. I'm sure he would have wanted the one that got called back, but they won the game.
Yeah, I forgot to ask him to follow. I don't know who caught that pass. It was a great pass. The run was great too. They both got called back, and they had to settle for that field goal. And I missed the kickoff return, so I'm going to go back and look at it right now on the replay. So, okay, Dave, get us out of here. Good job, great job tonight.
Well, I'm hoping we have some even more exciting post game next week. But for Ramon Scott, I'm Dave Dickens, and thanks for joining us this evening.